areas and a lot of areas for teams to be able to play on foot to rotations. As
that doesn't look like that's
ominous.
working well. Yeah, that Scarecrow isn't working very well. That bird's just chilling on it.
Well, yeah, that is. But it's just one, though. It could have been multiple. But we now look at the plane path as it's going to be cutting mostly to the west, but leaving pretty much everything open for the teams that would want to stretch, even if they want to go down, I don't know, even all the way down to Ohyang.
There's a lot of different fun things that we could be looking at. Do note that Army base is along this route, so we got a lot of military yesterday. Maybe we'll get ourselves some Army base this time, right?
Yeah, the circle that we had there was so fun to watch, though. That area, again, it does look like it's a massive elevation, and it is, but it's very gradual. It's not like the south where you have these sharp spikes in elevation, so we saw a lot of teams navigating that on foot, and then that circle ending was just absolutely ridiculous with Cerberus doing Cerberus things and controlling multiple angles and fights. And yeah, I love Tego. I wish we had more of it. I wish we had at least 2 Tegos a day.
I'm with James. I want the 222.
I would love that as well. 222 would be the perfect rotation IMO, in my honest opinion.
Honest opinion of all. We can see that 17 is still up in the air over there, pretty close to as well Na'Vi and FaZe. This is going to be much more controlled and dropped, not too much to worry about. Also, Sonic's going to be dropping more to the west. Petrichor Road going to be going just a bit past and picking up some vehicles. Nothing too hot and droppy looking like, as the circle is going to go down to the south. I mean, this is a long plane path, pretty friendly, so it's just the earlier jumpers that are going, but not even really inside it. Meanwhile, T5 is going to find themselves Na'Vi and a rock to hide behind for right now, as this is comfy cozy for the time being until the 17 Danoa thing ends.
But if you look at this push, they've come off the northeast, clearing 17, doing a good job of dictating other rotations here as they now are trying to backstab LG in this push against their top 5.
Good read coming up from Flood. He steps up but takes a face full of damage. Rolo playing on the opposite side hasn't gotten enough to work with just quite yet. Instead, going to lean into the throwables, but Nade's going to be coming out on the Danoa side, and Soul walks right out. Now Flood, the last remaining member for LG, but there are just so many members for Danoa, it's going to be hard. I was going to say, yeah.
No way.
He's like, okay, all the vehicles around me have exploded in at least some type of pyramid of safety, and that's about all he's got.
Yeah, he tried getting that res. It didn't end up working out, as Danoa, the benefactors here of all the chaos on the north side, they are not only in, but once they get rid of Pathum Pong, which they just did from Seoul.
Just a general theme of Genji, right?
It's a fairly common theme with them.
Oh no, somebody still has Mortar.
Menuda will find Haisaki, but again, this is the problem. This is what Mortars do pose as far as staying in the open, and that almost led it directly. There it is! Haisaki and Taikon will fall.
All right, well, Duckmine, good job on not being with the rest, as they are now toast. Here comes the clown car up over the top. Can Duckmine get his vengeance? He's got the nade prepped.
It could be a huge
He's going to toss it in. It's going to roll right on top of him. And now Menuda last one up spray, and Duckmine gets vengeance for his squad. But now is still just in the most awkward of positions.
What an absolutely nuts play, though. He knew that team was going to crash. He knew they were going to crash in the remnants of his old teammates. The nade was perfect, as was the spray. He will survive and again get points as Shaxx and Genji, man.
They don't have the meds for this. They can't have the meds for this. They've had to tank so much at this point. Barely clinging to life there. It's just going to be Taman as question mark with their high ground position that they've been monitoring for quite a while. Is going to go ahead, take control over the bit of the crates that are right along that hillside while they're trying to take out the last remnants here. But Taman, never count him out. Best of luck, looks like he's trying to breach into that smoke, but it is scary to do, and I like this. They've been fortified up for a long time. It's going to be Salute that actually finishes that out, and so moving down this hillside, moving into Genji is going to give them the tools to work with, and high expendables. Tanvu, that's probably not the place to be.
You know what? That's probably the best play they had, as we knew they had to rotate through some difficult teams, and so I like the attempt, but yeah, just not going to work. Meanwhile, question mark have slow rolled this on the southwest and done an amazing job of taking control. 9 kills, 4 away, Phil first, 4 on Dante as well.
Now the hillside fight looks like it's starting to brew a bit more. Falcons, Capitan leading the way up into the north, that Danoa line. They do have Sonics that are right behind it, but both of these teams know of each other's existence. They've been kind of slapping each other for a while right now. No big firefight yet, but it does look like Sonic's line in the defense that they're committing into is trying to set up for that, while Emmy and the rest of the crew from Falcons wants to lean far more north and get away from this.
Yeah, but they can't. Sonics actually have a really nice spread on this hill, and they are looking for those angles. If they can just find them on Falcons, who have just been doing doing a great job surviving again on that eastern edge of Hosan, and so they're very aware that the team they're going to have to fight is Sonics, and whoever wins this fight will have a considerable amount of control, at least on the south, and a nice ridge to work with into the next circle if it does hard shift north.
Keep in mind, though, with all of this that's going on, this is pretty beneficial for QM, as the position that they've now managed to get into, they can take some shots into Danawa. With the way the Falcons are moving into this one, it looks like they're more focused in that Danawa line. 3 of the teams are all pretty much stacked over to the east on top of each other, whereas QM gets, let's be honest, the circle as best as anybody else did, and can kind of defend up into this.
They can even use that massive airdrop there to potentially get cover, as well as some new gear, maybe some disgusting weaponry that would help them out. As there they do come down. Danawa, though, starting to look for some sort of approach, as Mime is going to find Capitan.
This is just going to be really hard for the Falcons. While they do have those crates for cover, they've got Danawa on one side, Sonics on the other. Minimal cover to work around. Sonics doing a good job of just using the recesses in the hillside to make it as problematic for him as can be. You can see Emmy now having a couple of bullets thrown his way, but it's going to be Soul who aggresses right down just directly behind Silzen. Look, he's just in the thick of this one. He's just going to throw out a couple of things, but he's moving more aggressive. He wanted to deny some of these sight lines onto QM so he can make a play into the circle.
Yeah, and Danawa actually, as you said, Soul found himself a nice position, and this is a pretty good ridge, all things considered, as he's going to be able to get a forward position for the rest of his team. And those smokes actually deny sidelines, and he's looking for this. He's trying to find the window of opportunity. Yes, this is wonderful.
Just move in aggressively. Don't let QM get comfortable into this. They think that they've got control over this whole territory. With the smokes now coming out, he could just kind of charge into this. The vehicle at range is going to be Dante coming into it, not going to see, but he has just crept up right on top of them. Now the Throwables are going to realize how close they are. Dante does spot him. Soul doesn't quite get the knock onto this one. Now QM realizing we've got targets close and they have got to defend up.
Yeah, and they were not expecting Danawa to be able to get this close this quickly, as they're now pushing the pace here. And they've put question mark on the back foot. That's going to be a knock on the Bestalok. Soul will find one, but damage coming out from the other side.
Phil first with the flank around, not wanting to relent off of it just quite yet. The rest of Danawa can't make too big of a move. Loki's just kind of isolated. It's going to be because of the way the Falcons were playing into this. Sonics, though, are going to be creeping in right back behind the Falcons any given second. Could be a distraction and allow Loki to come provide something into this, but I think Loki, this is pretty much just done. QM going to finish up over here, and now it's more about this firefight.
Yeah, and Sonics have slowly been picking apart Falcons, as their position was more advantageous, especially coming off that hill, and now they're just cornering in through Sills, and as long as they can get the trade, Tig will continue to dominate here. 6 kills on the side of Sonics, and all the control for the boys in blue.
Sonics on the east, QM on the west, and poor Loki just kind of chilling out solo on a rock to the north. Even as rock not going to be in play for the next circle, as it does heavily favor Sonics. And keep in mind, there are just a stack of crates just spattered through all of this.
I say blue, more boys in teal, but regardless, the point still stands. Is look at how much control the Sonics do have. They're spreading out, and again, they might even be able to check some of those crates, maybe get some cheeky cover, even a nice little weapon. As we talk about weapon, look at Dante with the AWM. A knock from this could absolutely swing the fight in their favor. Is Loki just sitting in that vehicle?
I mean, I think that he's laying over there right next to it, but there's not a lot else that he can do. No. It's going to be QM now making the push into that rock. They just want to go ahead and make sure that they don't have anybody that's going to backside. I mean, just, again, efficiently played, is now walking into that Sonic sight line as they were going for Loki. It does come at a cost. They get Loki, but Loki does get Dante as well.
Yeah, and that's going to be nice for the Sonics. They're going to realize they now have a member down, and they're just going to continue to further their control on this circle, and they have center as well, Matt. And a spray from Lynn is going to find a doozy, and they go for one, but a nice trade from Phil.
They just have ammo for days over here, but the brazenness of just holding that angle does get punished. 2 members now down, as Sonic's going to try to regroup over there, and that ghillie suit not going to provide too much with that blue backdrop back behind it, but Sonics, they know that they have the control on it. They're just going to go ahead and finish it out. Sonics going to go ahead and walk away with the round victory.
Man, that was almost a turnaround there. Phil first with 2 very nice back-to-back knocks, but Sonics will take that, and that was all on the back of their patience. They came in on the west, they slowly rolled in on the south side, and they were able to absolutely dismantle the team of the Falcons and slowly take over center position with the distraction that Danawa provided to question mark.
And no disrespect to Sonics off getting a victory in a very hard circle, but QM and how long they exploited that circle, the kill count that they managed to walk away from, that is going to be a very big game for them. As Sonics already sitting pretty good on the leaderboard, QM finally finding themselves a solid game. That was very, very neat.
That's also the second good game here. Yeah, QM have started off the day much harder than they did yesterday. It was a struggle, but the adjustments that they've been able to make it into the end game have been absolutely amazing. And so I'm really happy to see those adjustments.
And we've got ourselves prepped and ready to go. There was so much action inside that one. Of course, we're going to take a look at the highlights.
It's the big bounce back for some here, but Sonics, another repeat winner coming in here on Tego. They've been able to put themselves in a position where, well, I mean, congratulations to them. They're going to the grand final.
Absolutely. They saw FaZe do it in the last round. They said, let's get up here and do it right now. Sonics played very well. They were on that south side. They had to take a couple of fights. And, you know, I think Win showed up in the last game, has been playing very, very well. Shrimzy has also shown up here. There used to be a time when I feel like when people talked about Sonics, they just talked about Tiggleton with a really great team around him. These guys in their own rights have proven each one of them is a star, and they played so well in this game.
And this was an amazing play from Duckmite here to know exactly how to shut down Dplus as they moved on with the mortar shots on Cerberus. We had some great mortar shots, some great recoveries, some great fights towards the end. I thought Question Mark was going to be able to do something with all the crates they had available.